Hi, I'm Dr. Bodzioch from Landing Chiropractic, your Pollock Posture Doc. Nice seeing you. And today we're going to talk about power golf and the S angle, your S-line angle. So here's your head, here's your shoulders with the club. So you run a line here, all the way down here, and then it comes across. So this angle right there, that's your spinal angle. Okay? And I might add that angle and that spine is the most important club you own. Right? So number one, it's going to determine how you address the ball. Number two, it's going to determine the mechanics and the motion that you have, the fluency in your swing, and the actual completion that you're going to have in your swing. So as far as I'm concerned, the most important club for you to take care of is your spine. Because that's going to determine how well you swing, the actual circumference of your swing, and the speed of your swing. Right? And the speed of the swing and the speed you hit the ball is the crush factor or power, right? And that's what we're talking about here. That's all determined on how functional this spine's going to be. Okay, so how you approach your ball and how you stand to your ball is totally dependent on that spine, right? So, the angle of your spine obviously you should have an upright spine to begin with, right? And how do you determine that? That's my first question. How do you know that your thoracic cage is sitting over your pelvis like it should be? So I got a real easy test for you golfers to do. I want you to find a nice flat wall. I want you to walk up against the wall. I want you to stuff your shoulders against the wall and stuff your head against the wall. And see how long you can stay there without getting pain or irritation. And I'll bet you 60 to 70% of you players out there don't have an upright posture to begin with. Because this spine or this club isn't functioning like it's supposed to be. So you can buy all the clubs you want, you can buy all the balls you want, you can buy all the foot gear, you can buy all the gear you want. Unless this spine or this spinal club, which is the only one you own, is functional, it's going to hinder your whole golf game. Again, correct, upright posture over your center of gravity should be your head back, your shoulders back, sitting up over your center of gravity. You're going to determine that by standing against the wall, pushing your shoulders back so you feel both your scapula blades touching that wall and your head touching that wall. And you should be able to push your shoulders back and stay there for a relatively good period of time. If you start having pain between your shoulders, pain in your traps, pain in your rector muscles, then you have an anterior translation or a buffalo hump, we call it. Right? Because your head's starting to go forward and your shoulders are starting to go forward. And there's no way you can address that ball in an upright position if you have all kinds of anterior translations. Especially you instructors, right? You're trying to get these guys to swing out and complete their swing and come around and follow through. And the first club doesn't even have the ranges of motion to do that. This spine doesn't even have full range of motion. Because these trap muscles are all wound up, those scapula blades are all wound up, and these erector muscles are spasmed like rocks. So tell me how that individual is going to address that ball with a correct spinal angle when he's got this going on. And when he's got that going on, which, like I said, a majority of golfers do have this anterior translation or these rounded shoulders, what happens to the circumference of the swing? It what? Collapses. And if it collapses, what are you going to do? You're going to get air on the ball? No, you're going to get line drives and you're going to hook them, slice them. The other thing I see you guys doing and get is you try to overpower the ball. So you muscle the ball. Since you don't have the fluency in your swing and you don't have the rotation in your swing and the swing's not following through, you try to muscle and power through the ball. So again, back to basics. Center of gravity, shoulders back, head back. Now we're talking something different. So you're standing comfortably with a comfortable S-line with an upright S-line versus a buffalo hump, or rounded, or anterior translations, or a gargoyle where these shoulders are forward. And you cannot get speed and rotation off this club if this club has got all kinds of postural irritations and mechanical dysfunctions in there, so you don't have a full range of motion. So we at Power Golf start with the most important club, which is this spine. First and foremost, to get this spine functional and working like it needs to. Then we can work on core muscles. Then we can work on center of gravity. Then we can work on fluency of the swing, rotations, and a full, complete swing. But the spine's got to be functional. And that's the most important part, is the setup, or how you, again, address the ball with this upright posture versus this rounded shoulders or that anterior translation. And if you've had this anterior translation, I got news for you. You don't have the rotation in this thoracic cage to even start with a complete swing. So, again, I can't stress to you golfers who are serious about your game and take your game seriously, and you spend time on all the actual components and you neglect your spine, which is the most important club you own. Those joints, those 24 movable joints, have to move. They got to move through a full range of motion from shoulder to shoulder, and there's got to be pliability in those muscles. You cannot contract a muscle that's always already contracted. You can, but it's pretty difficult. Those muscles have to be relaxed in order for them to contract, in order for them to perpetuate motion. And now with this COVID virus, everybody's sitting at home, not just 40 or 35 hours a week. Now it's 45, 50 hours a week. So you're in these seated positions even more so. At least before, you were getting out, you were in the office, you were walking around, you get out for lunch. It's not happening now. Hopefully it will occur soon, but it's not happening right now. So these postural patterns are becoming even more anchored, more rigid, more irritated. So again, the S angle is so important. Before you talk about anything else, you got to talk about how functional that spine is to perpetuate a normal swing of speed, of range of motion, of contraction. So again, that S angle is off the back, off your back, and angles to your feet, right? And the more upright these shoulders are, the bigger circumference of that swing. And the bigger circumference, the more you're going to get in regards to speed, fluency, and hence power. So basics, back to basics. Starting with your number one club, your spine. So we at Atlantic Chiropractic would love to check your spine for, number one, postural distortions and mechanical dysfunctions. See what you got going on. Set up a specific, individual, personalized program for you. And I will guarantee your golf game will increase. Love to see you. Again, we love doing these videos. Could you please hit subscribe to our video channel and watch for future tips. Have a great day. Happy St. Patrick's Day.